Hi, it's Punk Pup. Uh, again, ignore my voice. I am sick. And if I'm sniffling a lot, apologies, I probably have the flu. And sorry for any background noise because, I have dogs and my family's home for the holidays. So just ignore background noises. Anyways, today I'm talking about representation in the Warrior Cats series because it's not perfect representation, but I personally don't think it is the worst, but it still deserves to be talked about. First off, physically disabled representation, cats who can't walk or can't see and that kind of stuff. They do have a slight issue with making disabled characters. They tend to make them background characters or medicine cats. So that is something. For example, J-Paw, which I am an IRL of, but J-Paw, was forced to switch with Hollypaw and become ThunderClan's medicine cat because he was blind and he couldn't, hunt and stuff. Cinderpaw, after being hit by a monster or a car, was forced to quit her I can't speak. Apprenticeship. Apprenticeship. She was forced to quit her apprenticeship with Fireheart and become Yellowfang's apprentice and become a medicine cat. And Briarlight, after being paralyzed by a fallen tree, wasn't even given a role. She just sat around camp and played with kids all day. She picked up a couple things by hanging out in the medicine den, but she did not have an actual role in the clan, which is sad. They could have made up something for her or do something, because she sat in the clan camp and played with kids all day. And so there's that. There are also some cats that are disabled and lived on to be warriors, deputies, and even leaders. For example, Crooked Star had a broken jaw and was renamed by his mother to an ableist name, but he still became the leader of River Clan. Deadfoot also had an ableist name, but he had a twisted front paw, and he became the deputy of Winkland. He did not become leader. I think he died in some battle, sadly, but he did, move up the ranks in his clan. And Brightheart was left half blind after being attacked by a pack of dogs. She learned to adapt with her disability, and she became a very strong warrior of ThunderClan, and a very memorable one too. It is reasonable for disabled cats to have less options in the clans. They're wild cats. They do not have the accessibility aids that humans do, and their society is built on fighting to protect their clan. If you are unable to see or run, you would be at a higher risk of injury or death. Which, it's sad, but they live in the wild. They cannot perform, extensive surgeries. They do not know how to fix it. And so the best they can do is find another role for you so you don't get killed on battle because you have a disadvantage. Going on to other representation and queer representation. Sadly, the Aarons are unable to make canon queer. Thank you, dog. The Aarons are unable to make canon queer characters due to the threat of being censored and even being not being able to produce in some countries because they do not like queer representation. The closest thing to canon representation we do have is things like blogs and hints in the books to queer representation. For example, Kate has replied to people theorizing about Tallstar's mate by saying he only ever loved Jake, a male kitty pet he met. I have not read that book yet, but Kate has talked about Tallstar only loving Jake. People have also said that Leafpool has had some hints at being queer towards Mothwing. I have not seen this, but people have said it is heavily implied, not heavily implied, but it is slightly hinted at in the books. Barley and Ravenpaw are also heavily implied in the books to be in a relationship, but again, sadly cannot be confirmed. Ravenclaw is an implied transgender female to male character. People thought it was a mistake in the alliances, which, if you didn't know, the alliances are a list of every single cat in the book, and it says their role. So, like, ThunderClan will have the leader and the deputy like listed, and then like the medicine cat and their apprentice, and then all of the warriors, and then all of their apprentices, and then the queens and the elders and their kids. And then they'll have outside of clan kind of stuff. But in every single listing, they'll have a general description of the character and their gender. And in the early books of the series, Ravenclaw was said to be a she-cat from ShadowClan, but then it became a tomcat in the later books in ShadowClan. And people thought that was a mistake in the alliances, but he has been confirmed to be a tom, and books that are being written now, but they take place in the past, in the in-universe timeline, he is listed as a she-cat to even further confirm that he is a trans cat. And representation of immigration and foreigners. Sadly, there are a lot of xenophobic views in the series, but most, like, this is mainly towards kitty pets, and they are always, like, the bad guy that says that kind of stuff. They are, always the, one that's written as being bad for having those views. But, besides kitty pets, other groups of cats, like the tribe and the sisters, are written as lesser, and they're viewed as weaker compared to to the clans. And they're seen as the way of living is flawed, and they need to adopt the ways of the clans. This is especially with the tribe. They, after they were, discovered in the second arc, for the next 2 or 3 arcs, they were constantly calling for the clans to come help them with setting, like, territory markers. They literally did not know how to, stop intruders from trespassing into their territory. And this is really entertaining because the tribe cats have been living in the mountains for longer than the clan cats have been living in the original forest and the lake. Like, it's talked about in the 3rd or 4th arc with Jayfeather. He talks about going back in time in a dream, and it's kind of weird. He had a past life kind of thing going on. He was named Jay's Wing or something, and Jay's Wing was the decider for the ancient cats to move from the lake to the mountains. And he was the one to appoint the first stone teller of the tribe cats. So the tribe cats have been living in the mountains for longer than the clan cats have been living in the old forest. So it's really agitating that the tribe cats are painted as weaker and lesser than the clan cats and, like, unknowing, but they've been living in their territory for longer than the clan cats have probably existed, and they live in harsher environments, so they should be tougher than the clan cats. So it's a really agitating thing. It's really nitpicky, but it is just so annoying. That is all I have to say about the representation in warrior cats. I've been holding back that cough this entire time, man. Anyway, if I have anything else to add on, I might make a second part to this. But that is all I have for now. Have a good day. Have a good day, night, or evening, or whatever. Have a good life. Have a good life. And that's all. Bye.